just like standard operating procedure. You guys scrimmage, getting up and down. Just how good does your team look? How much do they need that to kind of burn some energy?
It was needed, because we've been doing a lot of drills, a lot of breakdowns, and these guys have been great, just doing whatever we asked them to. It was on the practice plan, so for them to be able to get out and kind of blow it out a little bit tonight was welcomed by them and our coaches too. So it was a lot of fun for those guys.
Mike, you've talked before about wanting to get to a point where you can kind of sit back and let the guys lead and hold themselves accountable. Are you seeing more of that from last year to even now?
For sure, yeah, we are. We're seeing certain guys step up and say things, and it's all across the board. You got a young guy like Davion saying something. You got Foxy saying something. JaVale is a new guy saying something. So we have a lot of guys trying to hold each other accountable, so we can play the right way.
Scale of 1 to 10, just how sloppy are some of these scrimmages?
For this early, it wasn't bad, because if you think about it, we really practiced Tuesday and Wednesday, and so for us to, because today's Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so for us to come in here and after 2 days of practice and try to, we've thrown a lot at them, and we're still going to be sorting through it throughout the preseason, but for them to try to come in here and execute what we've thrown at them in a short amount of time was pretty good. It'd be good to go back and watch the film, though.
When you say you throw a lot at them, you expect them to absorb a lot too, right?
Yeah, I do, but we've only been together 2-3 days, so we expect that, but not. We know that they're not going to get it all down right now.
Mike, day 3 is ice bag day. How's everyone holding up after a couple of days of getting beat up?
Pretty good. Nobody set out today. Obviously we'll see how it goes tomorrow. We're not going to have contact tomorrow. Tomorrow's we're going to watch film from tonight, and get a lot of shots up, and then we'll come back and have some contact on Saturday and fly to Vancouver.
How do you approach Sunday's game?
Kind of same way as last year. Guys will play a few minutes. We're going to try to play as many guys as we can and take a look at them, and then as the preseason goes along, we'll up the ante a little bit in terms of minutes.
When you look at Sasha, what seems to be coming naturally, and what does he maybe need to work on a little more?
It's going to be, a lot of it's going to be the same thing as how well he can sit down and defend. I mean, he's gifted offensively with his ability to pass the ball. He's really smart, knows how to change pace, and cuts really well. Obviously, he can shoot it. Offensive rebound. There's a lot of things he can do offensively, and then there's some things he does defensively too. He's a physical guy. He's not afraid to take a hit or give a hit. It's just whether or not he can sit down in front of the ball when it comes to teams wanting to try to go at him, because it's no secret they're going to try to go at him.
Is he getting some buckets and getting some shots off in these scrimmages?
Yeah, but all our guys are. I mean, we got a lot of really good shooters out here, and so all of our guys are shooting the ball at a high level, especially when they're open, and the way they're trying to move the ball and space the floor, they're trying to get their teammates some pretty good looks.
Mike, you said that Davion has been more vocal. Is there anyone in particular who's really surprised you during the last few days at camp here that stepped up their development, what have you, and you just are thrilled with them?
No, I mean, there aren't many guys who I can say, oh man, I'm disappointed in this guy, I'm disappointed in that guy. When you look at our group, you can tell that they all worked hard on their craft throughout the course of the summer, and they're ready to try to take another step, not just individually but collectively, because they've done a lot of that together this summer. So it's not any one person that's kind of stood out yet, but there's plenty of guys that look pretty good.
Doma said that this year you guys are drastically better than a year ago coming in at this time. What have you seen, if you had to compare the two, and what?
Look, it's just that corporate knowledge. You got that corporate knowledge from last year, and we got a lot of guys that have returned from last year, and so they've been through it. They know kind of what to expect from us to a certain degree on both ends of the floor, and then they're able to help the new guys because they have that corporate knowledge.
With Davion,
go ahead, man.
I was going to say, with Davion specifically, how have you seen him grow kind of as the leader of that second unit even over the last year?
He's extremely vocal. He knows exactly what should be happening. not just with his position, but with everybody's position, and he's going to be demanding. If we don't get back in transition, he's going to say something. If we don't swing the ball to the open guy, he's going to say something. And you like that from a young guy, because it's hard to lead, especially when you're young and you're telling guys that have more years than you, hey, no, we got to do this better. And that means you got to be perfect when it comes to working hard and trying to play the right way, and he's definitely trying to do that.
He worked on his shot a lot over the summer and the arc on his shot. What are you seeing from him in terms of his shooting?
Just again, it's only been a few days here, but he's shot the ball well. You can tell he's worked on his shot, and he looks good shooting the ball. He looks comfortable shooting the ball and confident, and that's all you can ask for, especially when he's open.
Did he have too much arc, what do you think, last year?
I mean, you would have to ask his shooting coach. Hey, I just want him to make it. I don't care how high the ball goes or how low it goes, just go in.
During these scrimmages, you've got obviously your coaching staff, and they take a pretty active role, and you kind of sit in that chair over there. I wonder, how much do you try to sit back and not be too vocal during those moments?
Yeah, that was just a time for the players to not hear my voice and to go out there and play and play free, and I wanted to see what they can do, and I trust all my coaches, and I think our players know that, because I sit and observe quite a bit, especially in the summertime. So again, we just want to see what it looked like if they played 4 12-minute quarters. That's what they played tonight, and this early in camp, it was okay.
Yeah.
Not great, but okay, leaning towards good.
Do you ever sense eyes trying to make eye contact with you at different moments of the game, whether it's a player making a mistake or doing something well? Do they try to catch your eye at all?
Not really. Guys will act like I'm sitting over there, and so guys that may be lined up in that position during a dead ball, they may say, hey, was I supposed to do this or do that, or should I have done that? And so there's just general conversation like that every once in a while, and there may be a time or two where I may get up and go talk to a player or two during the course of the game, or go talk to the team, but not much.
We caught a little bit of the chirping at the end there. How much do you like to see that level of competitiveness?
I told them when we were in our huddle, I said, hey, the one thing that you like is the competitive spirit. We talk about winning every day, and you got to win every day with your competitive spirit or work ethic. Both those go hand in hand. Focusing on the details, trying not to let any detail be too small for us, and then buying into that individual commitment of sacrifice and trying to do the right thing for the group's one common goal.
We saw mostly 2s and 3s out here in the scrimmage. How much were the other guys involved in the first 3 quarters before we came in?
They were involved. They played a lot of minutes. They played most of the scrimmage, and then the guys at the end, they for the most part just played that fourth quarter. A couple of them had played earlier, throughout the course of the scrimmage, but not much.
You spoke of a competitive spirit. Are you seeing them hard screens, those vertical, when they go vertical, getting hit in the chest and taking charges and things? Are you seeing that right now?
Yeah, guys are stepping in and trying to take the hit. We had a couple of charges tonight, and more so probably at this point of training camp than we did during last year's training camp. So guys seem to be taking that to heart, trying to protect the paint the right way by taking the hit.
Last one.
We've seen what JaVale can bring as a vocal leader, but how big has he been for working against Domas and Alex and the other bigs, just facing him every day?
I think it's good. That's a great question for Domas, especially because, he's extremely long, and, he's a big man, like I said. And so for Domas to have to go against him for a little bit, and then sometimes go against a guy like Trey as a backup 5, and it's great. It just prepares you for a lot of different things that you're going to see throughout the course of the year.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Mike.